I won't name her name because she's not here, so I can't even ask. But we have with us many very serious athletes this week. And one of them came to me and he said, I really want to improve in my sport. I so much want to improve in my sport. I said, tell me what you're doing. Tell me a bit about your training. And she started to describe her training by telling me what she does. You know, I do my strength training in the winter, I do my road work in the summer, and I go, okay, yeah, but I need to know more than that. I need to know, what is your strength training? And she goes, oh, well, I do squats and I do deadlifts. And I go, okay, but that tells me what exercise you use, but I need to know how you do it. And she goes, well, I squat, you know, and I deadlift. Yeah, but how heavy is the weight? And she goes, oh, like 60 kilos. So how much do you do this? She goes, like 15 times. Okay, well, if you're doing it, now I'm starting to understand the reps, the sets. I know exactly what she's doing, getting a sense of it. If you do those weights for that amount of time, what's going to happen is you're going to get bigger, but you're not going to get stronger. And she looked at me and she goes, that's exactly what happened. And I go, well, yeah, that's what would happen because that's the type of training you're doing. You're training to get bigger, but not stronger. But in her sport, where she works with her own body weight, if you're bigger, you're heavier. Therefore, you're weaker compared to the amount of weight you're pushing. If you stayed the exact same strength, but you weighed half as much, you'd be fantastically strong. But if you weighed twice as much, you'd be very weak for your, okay? We call this mass force. How much force can you create based on your mass? And in sport, whether it's jumping straight up, or vaulting over a bar, or pushing an object, or running, it's a very specific drive. It's technique-oriented. Therefore, it is mass-specific force. So I'll talk a bit more about mass-specific force. And begin with the idea that everybody thinks that what they do is the most important thing. So, the people who do cardio think cardio is the center of the world, and I've talked to thousands of runners who've come to me and said, I avoid the weight room because I'm a runner. I don't want to get big, because if I go to the weight room and get big, it will work against me as a runner. I don't want to be heavier. That makes a ton of sense, that they don't want to get bigger. But they do want to get stronger. They don't know how to get stronger without getting bigger. Those two don't equate. In our heads, we talked about this a bit last night, that we carry these ideas around about nutrition that aren't necessarily true, and it's hard to relearn nutrition from a whole new point of view when you already learned nutrition from one point of view, and then people get stuck because they're trying to make the old way make sense out of the new perspective, and that doesn't work too well either. In the world of fitness, we have our first issue is big and strong. In our heads, we relate big and strong, even though we know that the biggest men and the biggest women, the people who compete in bodybuilding, they're massively big. But if you talk to any of them, they will tell you, we're not particularly strong. They are, if you look at the strongest people on the planet, talk to them, or even just look at them, they do not look like bodybuilders. They look more like barrels than hourglass. They don't have that big V, you know. And the strongest men on the planet are never the biggest men or women. The biggest men or women are never the strongest men. But yet in our own heads, we equate bigger with stronger. And the two don't relate. In fact, if you got bigger relative to your own weight, you would get weaker, not stronger.